daily chart review for September 26th, 2022. Overall, most things were down. Nasdaq down by 0.60%. S&P down by 1.3%. 10-year Treasury yield up by 23.4 basis points. Gold down by 1.53%. Bitcoin up by 1.31%. Oil down by 2.73%. The Manarino Market Risk Indicator reached another all-time peak today. If I remember correctly, I think I saw it around maybe 8, 9, 10 a.m. Hawaiian Standard Time, around possibly 280. But nonetheless, it closed at 274.9. And where is that in relationship to since I started graphing it back here, August 29th? You see on this little beautiful graph here, it's just been moving up. And it's been in since August 29th. It's been in the 200 range, but it was a low 200s. Then it started kind of going closer to mid, and then just recently it really jumped up into mid, and now it's creeping up towards high level of risk. So right now in this orange, 200 to 300 is the high level, but we're creeping up towards extreme. And this is calculated with using the Dixie, which is basically comparing the dollar against other currencies, the 10-year Treasury yield divided by 1.61 for some reason. I don't know. You'd have to ask the person who made it, but it's pretty accurate nonetheless. S&P 500. We see in our long-term trend chart here, money is still flowing out. We see that weekly stochastic going down. Doesn't seem to be any change there. 15-minute chart, we're going to bypass that. Here's our daily chart. We're looking at a 3-month period. Daily stochastic is just under that oversold, but it might cruise down there for a little while. We see our volume is a little bit less than the daily volume, and our candle today above this support line here. But look at it closed here yesterday, Friday, closed here today, kind of, just kind of flipped over. We had all buyers press it up here. Today we had sellers bring it down here. Probably going to stay a little bit in that range, but nonetheless, it's kind of just been going down. Technology, you see on that long-term chart, long-term trend, money's been flowing out. Wide gap between the stochastic lines there. Just that downward trend continues. Looks similar on the daily chart for the XLK technology ETF. We see the volume just a little bit under the average of what it's been hitting. Stochastics under there, same thing, kind of got this, what some people call it a reverse hammer, or whatever you want to call it. The fact is it opened here, closed here, traded all the way up to here, but sellers just, selling pressure just drove it down, and we're in this decline here. Now, something that we should take note of, so in the technology healthcare ETF, XLV, money had been flowing in for a while, right? It was red here, money started flowing in. However, today, money started flowing out, which I think maybe I started talking about, that if things keep going down, we might see money flowing out. It's just not enough to get it moving up. So another kind of bearish indicator where we had these green, it wasn't enough. It's still green, but look at in this downward trend. At mastertrader.com, they would call this like a green bar is ignored, especially this one right here. This would be a green bar ignored, right? It just passed it back to red. So even though there are these green bars, bullish bars, it's in this downward trend. Volume, same thing, a little bit less than the daily average. Stochastic on the bottom here, kind of moving sideways. So let's look at XLY, our consumer discretionary. Same thing. We see that that longer term trend chart, money started flowing out, just like in healthcare. Got that sideways stochastic. Looks like they might be rolling over on the weekly stochastic. Look at that. Green volume, buying volume. More buyers than sellers, but it really didn't do much, right? Stochastic still on the bottom. That doesn't have anything to do with the buying. That's just sort of it's kind of a good trading indicator and short-term indicator. But let's take a look. We got all this buying volume, and regardless of you know, all this buying that came in, look what happened here. Opened here, closed here. All this buying came in that moved up. It really didn't make much of a dent, right? Because Friday opened here, closed here, and look at, we still open and close below the low of Friday's candle. So that's not a super bearish. And look, it couldn't. It's basically in the bottom 10%, 5% of today's trading range. Not looking bullish at all, even though there's a lot of buying. Boom, real estate. Look at that. It just blew out on the volume. Long-term trend, the same, right? We got this downward trend, money flowing out. Look at that candle today, really to the downside. Catching some support right here in this 36.56 area. But look at that, smooth downward trend. If you had been shorting that, or you potentially bought put options up here, you would be smiling. XLF, the financials, we see money was creeping in for 2 days or 3 days, right, last week. But Friday, that reversed, and today we see it continue. We see that stochastic starting to move down. But the money's flowing out, which is not looking good if you are a stock market bull at the moment. Looking great if you're a stock market bear. Look at that volume pressing up past. We got a lot of selling volume going on in there. And we're getting this kind of slowing momentum candle here, though, right? I think we talked about that before. We're here stuck in this the support area, and just kind of right in there with not a big selling, even though the volume was there. It's like there's some support in there holding it. So maybe it's going to digest, but you know, our trend looks to be going down. Let's take a look at IWM, small mid-cap type of stocks. Downward trend, just like everything else, and woo, lots of selling volume in there. Now here we see some buying coming in, right? Because it opened here, it closed here under the support line, but must have caught some at this. You see that S1, S2, courtesy of the Pro One chart. This S1 caught some support here over at S2. And the buying, oh, we're not even on the right candle. Look at that. I need to clear the cache. So here's all that. Here's all that selling pressure, putting it on there. Okay. So now total opposite, right? That looks more like a lot of these other ones. Like here, you know, got the upside down hammer, but still catching that support over here on the S2. And wow, buying pressure pushed it up here, but selling just really brought it down. Qs. Okay, good. Loaded pretty quickly. Lots of selling volume coming in, a little bit over the average. We see sort of the same look. That big term trend still going down. Let's take a look at what happened with oil today. Oil. You know, I just love the look of the 6-month chart when I'm using this Tasty Trades charts. So oil, we'll zoom in and take a look. Look at this. Bam! Broke, right? We were watching it at this 82 mark. broke here. That must have been Friday. Maybe that was Friday. Since oil, this is the oil futures market, trades like close to 24/7. Maybe it's 23. Excuse me, close to 24/5. Maybe it's 23/5. I can't can't quite remember exactly, but it's trading much longer hours than the normal stock market. So sometimes these candles, and they're running on the Eastern Standard Time. I'm in Hawaiian Standard Time. Sometimes it gets confusing. But this might have been Friday. This might have been Sunday night. But here we are, probably Monday or Tuesday, depending on which time zone, whatever. We see oil is down here. It definitely broke this, right? So if you like some of those oil related stocks that sometimes give you some really sweet dividends, maybe you want to take a look at some of those. What happened with GOLD? Gold. Look at that. Broke this. Now we're down here. We'd have to go back. Look, it's not even on the 6-month chart. We don't even see anything on the 6-month chart. We'd have to go back to, let's see if we can see anything on 1 year. Nope. Getting closer. Let's take a look at 2 years. Nope. We're way down here. I don't know how far we'd have to go back, but we're not gonna do that. But we see maybe it's gonna be building a little base. So if like oil went down, maybe you like some mining stocks. Maybe that's something that that you're interested in, and you think it might be a good time to get those. Bitcoin. Look at that. Hey, the Bitcoin bears are crying. The Bitcoin bulls are celebrating because we're over 20,000 at the moment. All right, that's what I've been saying. We gotta see, if you are a Bitcoin bull, you want to see Bitcoin getting above 20,000 and staying above 20,000. That's the big thing. If you're a Bitcoin bear, you want to see it get rejected at 20,000. So Bitcoin bears, you want to be watching this. Of course, Bitcoin bulls too. But right now, the Bitcoin bull is winning, right? Because it's over 20,000. So the Bitcoin bear, what you want to see is it falling back down here. Bitcoin bears want to see it keep testing this 20, but getting rejected and keep lingering closer and closer to this 18,000. You want to see it like low 19,000s and keep testing that 18. Bitcoin bulls, you want the opposite. So right now for the Bitcoin bulls, here's what's working against you, right? We got this. Look at that huge wick, right? It tested this 20-day moving average, got pushed back down. Right here, see where it popped up a little bit above, but it's right here, right at that 20-day moving average, kind of right above it, I guess, just by a little bit. So you want to watch this pretty closely. Here we're back to this line here, and you go across here, you see it, right? So this is really kind of the proverbial line in the sand at the moment. You want to see it keep closing above, and we'll be watching. Trades, that definitely trades 24/7, so it's fun to watch. If you are in a state, unlike myself, if your state gives you an allowance to trade Bitcoin, maybe, just maybe, you should talk to your people that that you need to talk to legally do stuff. But maybe it's something you should look at as trading. Why? Because look at, if you were to caught this move to the upside and then the move to the downside, you could potentially go long and go short within like the same X amount of time, and you could just be making money. I wish I could be trading this. I don't know so much for a long-term investment. I'm not one of these people that's saying like, hey, Bitcoin is going to 1 million or whatever. Like, I don't care what number it goes to. It moves. You know, like, look at this. Look at all that movement there. You know, if you can be making a lot of money. You can go long, go short. Like, you know, thank God Bitcoin's here because it's volatile. It moves. Make some money. I know maybe with, I don't know which things. I told you guys before, around, it was 2016 when, you know, I found out that the People's Republic of Hawaii doesn't allow me to trade Bitcoin. I know that maybe there's some workarounds and stuff, but you know, Tasty Works at one time, I don't know if they're still doing this, but they were allowing people to trade crypto. Oh, you know what? Brett can't do it because he lives in Hawaii. What other things? I forget which other ones, but, and I got turned down more times than, so I was like, forget it. I'm not going to jump through all the hoops. Maybe it would have been worth jumping through the hoops. And then Here we go. S&P 500 line chart, right? Going back to 1993. So we see this is what it's looked like. It's a line chart and the interval's 1 week. So here we are right now at that little boop, that little point. And what do we see? You see this point and you see this point here, right? We're right there. I'll zoom it in at 5 years, right? Now you can hopefully really see it. That point right there. If we break this, probably going to be testing down here. You know, maybe maybe you can pull some support right there. It seemed like boom, boom. But you see what's going on, right? It's in a downward trend. It goes down, it rallies up, it goes down. So right now it's looking heavily to the downside. In order for this to reverse, some big things have to happen, and you'll know those big things happen because you'll see these charts going up instead of down. So right now, what would you do? What could you do? Well, hey, if you're new to all this stuff, then go to ihavesuccess.com. Freudian slip, huh? ihavesuccess.com. Download any of this stuff. Once you download one or all of them, you'll automatically be emailed anything new that I make. Every day the market's open, I'll be emailing you information. And so that would be the first thing. The second thing is paper trading. Start paper trading. If you're brand new to this stuff, you're in an exciting time. It's heavily weighted to the downside at the moment. They say the bull goes up the stairs and the bear goes out the window. Learn how to trade both sides, but don't risk your own real money at first. Get a paper trading account. You can check out TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim. You can check out Webull. I don't know who else has them. I know those two have them, but check them out. Learn some things. And what I'm particularly doing right now is I'm still selling cash secured put options, but I'm closing them a little bit early. So I'm still selling covered calls. Covered calls are working great. They're just expiring worthless left and right. And I'm still selling cash secured put options. And I've just straight out bought some stock too, because I kind of like the price that I was buying it at. If it goes even lower, I'll buy some more. But most of the time I'm just selling cash secured put options. And some of them, like I said, I'm closing them for different varying sizes of profit. That way I can resell it again in case there's like a quick drop. That way I can try to get a better entry point. But if you just don't want to do all that work and you're okay with buying XYZ stock and you don't mind owning it the rest of your life and you're okay with paying at whatever price, then you don't necessarily need to do that. But again, you know, none of this is financial advice. I ain't got no certifications, right? No legal paperwork over here for me to give you any advice. So this is definitely not advice. You need to go to somebody else for advice. Other than I will go out on a limb. I will take a legal risk, and I will give the advice of paper trading. That's my advice, paper trading. You guys have a fantastic day, whatever day it is for you. For me, it's Monday. Bye-bye.